Part of the grand reform agenda of government to electronically integrate all financial management operations and bring efficiency to government business. Design of a public investment management system should enhance the quality of public investment by strengthening the links between the National Medium-Term Development Policy Framework, the National Infrastructure Plan, Sector Medium-Term Development Plans, and Metropolitan, Municipal, and District Medium-Term Development Plans, and the annual budget, which is crucial to building the robust and transformed economy that we seek.
And so the Association of Ghana Industries, AGI, is hopeful of a reduction of some import taxes and levies with the rollout of the cargo tracking note policy next month. The implementation of the cargo tracking note policy was originally scheduled to take place on the 1st of September, but was postponed after various business associations kicked against it over lack of stakeholder consultation. Now, the Ghana Revenue Authority subsequently announced that the policy will be implemented on the 15th of October. In an interview with City Business News, Vice President of the Association of Ghana Industries, Humphrey Ayimdake, said government should implement the CTN effectively in order to bring relief to businesses.
Our second issue on the CTN, we believe AGI supports the CTN. Our further proposal is that we believe with an effective implementation of the CTN, government will rake in more revenue. And therefore, we expect government into the next fiscal year to bring about some reduction in import taxes and import levies at the port of entry to cushion the Ghanaian. Because the introduction of the CTN invariably will lead to some high cost of product because of the various nefarious activities and misdescription of goods that happened in the past. For it to be very competitive, as government tries it in the last quarter, if they achieve their results, we expect a better intervention by import tax reduction and levies into the next year. This is to re-echo the statement of the AGI president that he stated.
Now, away from that, government is aiming to harmonize all gas regulations in the country to help attract investors into the industry. Now, currently, different regulators in the oil and gas sector all have separate regulations, a system that is said to deter investors from investing in the sector. Now, speaking at this year's Ghana Gas Forum 2018, a Deputy Minister for Energy, Dr. Mohammed Amin Adam, was hopeful the passage of the Ghana Gas Bill by next year will help remove bureaucracies and also address price issues.
But what we are going to do is to consolidate the existing legislation and use the opportunity to address issues that have not been addressed through legislation. That's the essence of the gas bill. For instance, there is no regulation on prices of gas. Therefore, the new gas bill will have provisions that deal with gas prices. And also, as far as infrastructure is concerned, infrastructure standards and the approvals that are required, we have a few. But looking at the global regulatory landscape, there are more approvals that companies may need before they can undertake projects, so that we can assure the safety of the communities where such installations will be located. The gas bill addresses those.
While still staying within the energy sector, the Institute of Energy Security, IES, is urging that the government intervenes and addresses the concerns of the Petroleum Tanker Drivers Association. The drivers are on a sit-down strike over unfair conditions of work and want their employers to get their grievances resolved. Some have predicted that the situation, even checked, would lead to a massive shortage of fuel. The executive director of the IES, Kwesi Anamwasichi, tells City Business News failure to address the needs of the drivers will be chaotic for the petroleum industry.
I'm sure we have short-term measures we can look at, but we also need to look at mid-term and long-term. These issues cannot be addressed at just one sitting. But what can be done within this time, engaging them and giving them the encouragement that something will be done and giving them a roadmap to the doing of this something is important to do. But in the long term, we also need to have a plan, not to come back to this again, because this isn't the first time tanker drivers have gone on strike for this reason.
You're still watching the Business Dashboard on City TV. My name is Viviose. When we return, we'll bring you some more latest business stories.
For regular news checks as they unfold. 2020 news, all day, all the time. Politics, sports, entertainment, business, and more. 2020 news. We bring you the world in 20 minutes.
And that's all the news in 20 minutes.
Quero ver todo mundo balançando. Ninguém pode ficar parado. É só loucura.
Witness the twisted and tangled story of betrayal, greed, vengeance, and love in the award-winning Brazil Avenue. Carminia, a woman led by greed, gets rid of her husband, who is Rita's father, and sends Rita away to a filthy landfill. Rita finds love in Batata, but they are soon separated by adoption into different families, far away from each other. Many years later, all paths cross again, as Rita, now a renowned chef, seeks to pay back her stepmother for taking away her happiness as a child. It's a story of twists, turns, suspense, and thrilling action in Brazil Avenue. Brazil Avenue, coming soon only on City TV. Brazil Avenue.
We spice up your mornings with culturally enriched conversations, social interviews, and policy-oriented discussions that will keep you updated on the progress of the nation.
Because we're giving only those in their third trimester. So in the next 3 months, those in their second would be ready to receive the kits. And we're taking data at registration, which is before they take the kits, at delivery and post-delivery, so that we can analyze and we'll see the numbers. So from the numbers and the data that we're collecting, we would know what has worked, what hasn't worked, you know.
Join the Breakfast Daily team Monday through Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 10. Let your voice be heard with the hashtag Breakfast Daily. Join us for breakfast daily, only on City TV.
Welcome back to the Business Dashboard here on City TV. Let's bring you some more stories. Now, a banking consultant, Dr. Richmond Ituahini, has called for a drastic improvement in credit appraisal and debt recovery systems in the banking sector. According to him, this will help in sustaining the Bank of Ghana's efforts at reducing the high level of non-performing loans, NPLs, in the sector. The governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, recently announced that the central bank was writing off 1.2 billion cedis of non-performing loans on the books of banks in the country to reduce the high NPL level in the banking sector. But in an interview with City Business News, Dr. Ituahini said the move will not yield much if systems are not put in place to check the high NPLs.
The more we stay to write off, it means that we are respecting accessibility of credit to the private sector. And that is also a very serious thing. The more the private sector credit is dwindled, the more it becomes very difficult for accessibility. And I'm sure the IMF reporting, I think 2018, the latest one, the total assets for the private sector has declined from 32% in 2012 to 18.1%. So it means the private sector is not able to access credit from the bank. That is where the danger is. It means we cannot expand the economy as we want it to be, to possibly support the transformation agenda of the economy. Because it is the private sector which we all quick want to say is the engine of growth. But if the engine is not receiving any oil, how can it grow? So the most important thing is to make sure that having cleaned it, credit must be appraised properly, security must be put in place, recovery strategy must be done very well, and the courts that have been set to help to recover money must also work efficiently and effectively. Other than that, a time will come, we will have the private sector joining and helping us with their transformation agenda.
Now, some customers of telecommunications company AirtelTigo besieged the premises of the company's headquarters today, complaining about disruptions in their services. According to them, they have since yesterday been unable to access data or call services on the network. City News' and Shirley Zhu was there. Now, meanwhile, AirtelTigo has issued a statement blaming the current disruptions on a network upgrade being carried out by the company. The upgrade and network integration is being done in the Western, Central and Greater Accra regions. According to AirtelTigo, the exercise is expected to be completed next month. The telecommunications network has, however, asked customers experiencing challenges to contact its customer service for assistance. Well, you're still watching the business dashboard on City TV. We are going for a quick break. When we do get back, we'll bring you some more of the latest business stories.
Every Thursday night on City TV, you're welcome to join women from different backgrounds and opinions as they weigh in on your relationship issues. Watch Sister Sister as the ladies get real with issues about love, marriage, betrayal, sex, dating, trust, finances, and more.
And his goals and aims and ambitions, including like marital life or children. You should know that from the beginning. And when you have a deep conversation, you should be able to sense the vibe or the energy, but you should have that conversation so that you know what you're going in for. And then you advise yourself upon what you want and what the person wants.
Join Jessica and her sisters for City TV's all-women talk show, Sister Sister, every Thursday at 9 p.m.
Good evening, this is The Point of View. We're live on City TV.
Tune in to The Point of View, Mondays and Wednesdays at 9 p.m. as Bernard Avlet takes the news further. He will bring the right guests, ask them the relevant questions, and get you the real insights you need on the big stories for the day.
We need taxes to run the economy. How do you do it sensibly and have the least pernicious effect in terms of cascading through the economy? And I think that is the thinking that is required. It's not a denial that we need taxes, you know, and I think that is the difference in the two administrations.
The Point of View with Bernard Avlet, Monday and Wednesday nights, only on City TV.
Hello and welcome to another day, another week, and of course another episode of 30 Minutes. We're excited and we will be talking about all the trending conversations.
Spend 30 minutes every weekday catching up with all the trending social media conversations of the day. If you tweet it, we'll read it.
We might just even Skype you.
No, Shatta, why are you being so raw and hard like that? But at the particular time, that's what I wanted to do it. But that doesn't mean you are my enemy.
That's true.
We can still meet again and Shatta, this time we are about to do, don't come and do that nonsense. Okay, please, I won't do it. And we'll give respect to each other. But sometimes I feel, you know, when we are all humans. When somebody says something about me, Shatta, hey, no, I might want to say something.
Yeah.
So, but when I say it, people shouldn't take it like taking things, you know, personal and stuff. I've understood showbiz now, and I really want to work on it.
30 minutes is all it takes, so use the hashtag 30minutes on social media to catch our attention. Join the most interactive social media TV show weekdays at 5 p.m. only on City TV.
Welcome back to the Business Dashboard on City TV. Some more stories. Now, some energy analysts have expressed mixed reactions to the appeals by the Trades Union Congress TUC in getting the government to address the rising cost of fuel. The TUC in a statement said the increase in fuel prices has adversely impacted a standard of living as wages have not necessarily been adjusted to meet the rise. But what are the options of organized labor in this development? Pius Duku explores the issue in this report.
The Trades Union Congress in its statement argued that the time has come for the government to review its tax imposition and adopt measures that will stabilize the city to relieve Ghanaians from the untold hardship the fuel price hikes has brought to them. Organized labor, amongst others, urged the government to scrap some of the taxes on fuel prices to cushion Ghanaians. Also, the TUC wants the government to look into the various margins and their impact on fuel pricing. Reacting to this, the Executive Director of the African Center for Energy Policy, ACEP, Benjamin Boachi, said the government should rather target its attention on reducing the impact of the cedi on fuel prices.
The point really is that even if government takes out all the taxes and the cedi continues to depreciate, the impact on the consumer will not be felt. So significantly what the government needs to do is to look at the cedi and its strength to ensure that we're able to stabilize the price at the pump. Because you have international price going up and you have your cedi depreciating. That is a double dose of impact. And I think that is where our focus should be, so that the marginal increase on the international market will not be as adverse as we would have, at the pump.
The TUC is also seeking a possible review of the petroleum price deregulation regime. This system allows oil marketing companies to adjust their prices to reflect the cost of input. A situation the Executive Secretary of the Institute of Energy Security, Kwesi Anamwa Sechi, tells City Business News may be a bit difficult to achieve.
I support them to some extent, but not to change deregulation in any form. If they have a special contribution to it, let us have it. But to call for government to also reduce taxes, yes, of course, maybe they can look at the special petroleum tax, a tax that government spoke against some time ago. And it's going to be a challenge for government to do this, but it takes sincerity and some boldness to do something about these taxes and bring some relief to all consumers.
Thank you. Presently, fuel prices are selling at 5 cedis 14 pesos per litre.
Well, from energy, let's head back to telecommunications, where my colleague Ansheli Ziwu today was at the headquarters of AirtelTigo, where she interacted with some customers complaining about disruptions to their service from the network. She was there and she has found this report.
Customers besiege the telecommunications company, demanding answers.
My SIM just went off yesterday, and I came in today to check on them. They are telling me I need to bring my ID card for them to change the SIM for me.
For days, they have been totally cut off from all services on the AirtelTigo network.
I wasn't able to make any call from. When people are calling me, they say my phone is off. According to them, without my ID card, they can't tell me.
Just yesterday, I noticed my network was off, so I couldn't make or get any social media message. So I waited for a while. I was thinking it's the phone. I have to put it off and on. Took the SIM out, put it in. Nothing was happening yesterday. Today took the SIM, so I decided to come in. When I came, I reported to them and they changed the SIM.
I just took my phone to make a call and then I realized I didn't have a service.
When was that?
It was yesterday in the morning. I didn't know the time exactly. But I thought it was my phone, so I was trying to like research and sort of get back to the network. It didn't go up. So it was this morning, still I didn't get a service and the colleague told me that this is what they said. That anybody that is facing that service to come to their office for them to rectify the problem. They copied my number on the phone and then they gave me a new SIM that's saying that I should hold on for an hour time. Okay, had it not been my colleague told me that this is what they said, I'm trying to port it.
I went to the place, look at the people, look at the queue. There's no way I can wait. For me to have to attend to my customers, I have to do my work. In the first place, it's a communication network, but their communication with the customer is very, very poor. Unacceptable. This morning when you are doing this, to remove and throw it away, I'll just get a new additional MTN on my mobile.
In October last year, the country witnessed a major transformation in the telecommunications sector. Airtel Ghana and Tigo merged to provide better and broader telecommunications service to their customers.
So as I mentioned, back in October last year, you recall that we had announced the merger of Airtel and Tigo to become now the second largest mobile operator in Ghana. Now these two companies separately had existing network assets. Since then, we have been hard at work integrating these two network assets to provide a much wider coverage, higher capacity across all our entire regions.
The company attributes the current hitches to a system upgrade it is undertaking. Michwa Ngabi is the company's chief executive officer.
States obviously how AirtelTigo, being the second largest telecommunication network in Ghana, has commenced our preparatory works on our network upgrade in the Western, Central, Greater Accra regions, which, as we committed, will be completed by October this year. This follows, of course, the similar consolidation exercises we've undertaken in the Northern, Upper East, Upper West, Brongahafo, Ashanti, Eastern, and Volta regions. You may have noticed about 3 weeks ago, we put out a full disclosure as to the completion of activities in these particular regions. And this has been in the spirit to give visibility as to the progress we're making, because we are very clear that this process is going to end in October. Now, the reason why we're doing all of these things is naturally having built a much stronger network than Airtel and Tigo were before separately to provide a stronger consumer experience both on voice and data. The network integration, the statement reads, is aimed at offering an enhanced customer experience by providing superior voice quality, faster internet speeds, and generous data package, evidenced by some of our recent product launches. However, like we said, we are dealing with machines. So there are some unforeseen circumstances that may result, myself or Pius, experiencing that degraded service, which requires us then to come in for that configuration change. It wasn't planned. We cannot foresee who would be impacted or not, but we are, again, like I've emphasized over and over again, extremely open and really encouraging of consumers to visit us. If you do experience any challenges, let them come in so that we can resolve them.
Director of Market Growth, Pius Tufo, says affected customers will be duly compensated.
But in the same upgrade process, a customer will not lose the number, will not lose the airtime, will not lose any AirtelTigo money. So it's just occasion. And on top of that, actually, we give customers 20 Ghana cedis and 1 GB to actually try the network. Because we've already promised the customers that we are giving them superior voice quality, fast internet, and wider coverage. So when the customer goes through that inconvenience of coming to the shop, after a successful upgrade, we actually give customers this 20 Ghana cedis and 1 GB as not just compensation, but
Oh, here on to the international market, where U.S. chip maker Qualcomm has accused Apple of sharing its technology with rival suppliers, including Intel, in a theft intended to improve the performance of non-Qualcomm chips. The complaint, made in a filing in a Californian court, marks the latest clash between the two firms. Apple has separately accused Qualcomm of abusing its market dominance in microchips. Its objections center around the fees charged by Qualcomm for its technology. For years, Qualcomm supplied Apple with items such as processors for its iPhones and other hardware, but iPhone maker has favored Intel more recently. In the new court filing, Qualcomm said Apple engineers supplied Intel staff with Qualcomm's confidential source code with the aim of improving the performance of Intel chips, despite a contract intended to restrict access to the technology. Qualcomm alleged the move was part of an intricate plan developed by Apple over several years with the aim of cutting costs and increasing its leverage over Qualcomm. Well, on that note, we bring today's edition of the Business Dashboard to an end. Many thanks for staying with us. For more news, though, do visit citybusinessnews.com. My name is Bobiose. Thanks for joining us for today's edition of the Business Dashboard. Tomorrow at 7, we'll be back with another episode of the Business Dashboard. Stay with us.